we move on to our next session, which is a state of states with focus on education, forest, and environment. We have this morning with us Mr. Nagarajan M., Commissionerate of Higher Education, Government of Gujarat, Mr. Anilkumar Vasantlal Shah, Member Secretary, Gujarat Pollution Control Board, Mr. Pushkar Singh, Managing Director, MP State Minor Forest Produce Cooperative Federation Limited, and Mr. Kaushlendra Kumar, Executive Director from Chhattisgarh Rajya Van Vikas Nigam Limited. Let's first understand the important initiatives undertaken recently by the Government of Gujarat when it comes to higher education. The state has an employability enhancement initiative as well, imparting training on skill development for students of higher and technical education to make them industry ready. It has 60 universities, over 800 colleges, and around 1.5 million students pursuing higher education. And for this, Mr. Nagarajan, who is Commissioner from Higher Education, is with us, who has experience of 22 years in various government departments, including Indian Railways.
Nagarajan sir is on leave, so I am a Joint Commissioner Higher Education. Narayan Madhu is here. Mr. Narayan Madhu. You're welcome, sir. But since I've already started introducing Mr. Nagarajan, let me complete it. Yes. And Mr. Nagarajan, in fact, made major interventions in health, education, and rural development. And he believed that technology can be a game changer in India's development, and conceived programs like Digital Village, Smart Village, Rural Startups, M-Health, and E-Health. And I welcome the department. And on behalf of Mr. Nagarajan, I hand the mic over to you, sir. Myself, Narayan Madhu, Joint Commissioner Higher Education. We have introduced a Cogent platform. Cogent में हमारे पास जितने 6000 फैकल्टीज है, 6000 फैकल्टीज के पहले कोई डेटा नहीं था, ना फोन नंबर था, तो हमने सभी फैकल्टीज के डेटा की कब से वो सर्विस में ज्वाइन हुए और उन्होंने ग्रेजुएशन किस में किया, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन किस में किया, पीएचडी किस में किया है, कहाँ से कहाँ ट्रांसफर हुई है, पूरा सब डेटा एक मिला के एक प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार किया है। तो इसके कारण क्या हुआ कि हमको पता चलता है कि हमारे पास एक्सपर्ट कितने हैं, कौन कैसे काम कर रहा है, और अगर स्किल ट्रेनिंग देते तो हमारे स्किल वाले लोग कितने हैं हमारे पास, स्टार्टअप अगर और हम सबका जो फैकल्टीज है उसका इंटरेस्ट कहाँ है, मतलब एक सिंगल डेटाबेस पूरा एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट का, हायर एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट का हमने तैयार किया। इसके कारण हम कोई भी अगर एप्लीकेशन करना है, कोई डेटा एनालिसिस करना है तो अच्छी तरीके से हम कर सकते हैं, और इसके कारण पूरे डिपार्टमेंट का काम अच्छी तरह से हो रहा है। थैंक यू। सॉरी सर, यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल।
आपका एक और प्रोजेक्ट है उदिशा करके, जिसमें कि जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो डायरेक्टली इंडस्ट्री के साथ जुड़ते हैं, एम्प्लॉयर्स के साथ।
वी हैव आल्सो वन प्लेटफॉर्म कॉल्ड उदिशा, मतलब प्लेसमेंट पोर्टल है। हम सभी इंडस्ट्रीज को उसके ऊपर रजिस्टर कराते हैं जो पूरे गुजरात में फैली हुई है, और हमारे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो रजिस्टर होते हैं, और बाद में और उसका मैच करते हैं प्लेसमेंट के पोर्टल के ऊपर, और बाद में हर एक कॉलेज के जो टीवाई के स्टूडेंट्स हैं उसका 3rd ईयर में उनका इंटरव्यू होता है हर एक कॉलेज में, मतलब ऑल ओवर गुजरात ये होता है, और एक बड़ा सा डेटाबेस हमारे पास आ जाता है, और इंडस्ट्री को भी नए लोग मिलते हैं। तो ये काफी 3 साल से चल रहा है और धीरे धीरे एस्टेब्लिश हो रहा है ये पोर्टल, और काफी इंडस्ट्रीज अब हमारे पास सामने से आ रही है कि इस बार कब है, मतलब ये अच्छी तरीके से ये भी एक डेवलप हो रहा है।
तो इसमें पिछले 3 साल में क्या क्या उपलब्धियां हासिल हुई आपको?
करीब 1 लाख स्टूडेंट्स है वो रजिस्टर होते हैं, और ज्यादा से मतलब 60 और 70% लोगों को प्लेसमेंट मिलता है इसमें, प्लेसमेंट पोर्टल के कारण।
एक चीज मैं और जानना चाह रहा था आपसे कि हाल ही में आपने काफी थोड़े समय से ये एजुकेशन को प्राइवेटाइज करना शुरू किया है, तो उसमें आपको लगा कि बढ़ोतरी हुई है एजुकेशन स्टैंडर्ड में, या फिर आपका जो अपना सिस्टम चल रहा था विच वाज गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल वो बेहतर था?
हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म में हमने एक क्या है कि ये जो कोरोना में हमने सबको माइक्रोसॉफ्ट पोर्टल है वो सबको लाइसेंस उसका फ्री में दिया था सभी फैकल्टीज को। और इसके कारण क्या हुआ, जब ऑफलाइन हुआ तो ऑफलाइन ऑनलाइन दोनों मोड में वो चला सकते हैं। तो असाइनमेंट है उनका अपना उसको दे सकते हैं, असाइनमेंट जो स्टूडेंट्स है वो दे सकते हैं, ये भी हुआ है। और कितने फैकल्टीज क्लास शेड्यूल कर रहे हैं, कौन नहीं कर रहा है वो भी एक पता चलता है। तो काफी इसमें एक ऑफलाइन और ऑनलाइन मोड दोनों के कारण एक 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 एक, एक व्यूहात्मक चेंज आया है और लोग उसको सीरियसली लेने लगे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, थैंक यू
थैंक
वेरी
यू।
I move on to the next. In addition to the regular pollution contributed by road, rail, aviation, etc., industrial emissions, dust, and brick kilns, the regular figure in Gujarat has risen to a substantial 70,000 tons. The practice of burning of stubble after harvest is a huge contributing factor to the poor air quality. Gujarat Pollution Control Board of late has been keeping a hawk's eye on the rising levels of pollution. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Mr. Anilkumar Vasantlal Shah, who is Member Secretary, Gujarat Pollution Control Board, having 30 years of experience in the field of prevention and control of pollution, apprising Indian environmental laws. Past positions have included in regulating environmental laws, including inspection, decision-making on applications for consents, grievance redressal, coordination with district administration for various tasks, including public hearing and so on. So, Mr. Shah, would you like to take apprise us of the efforts which are made at the state level, fighting the pollution, changing the laws, and creating a healthy and cleaner society?
Thank you very much to all participants and the organizer for inviting us for this discussion. Gujarat being an industrialized state, the development and environment are both are the two sides of the coin, and that is maintained as a sustainable development. Then and only then the country and the state can progress. So Gujarat is a front runner state in the entire country, and the only state which has adopted the e-governance in somewhere around 2008, which was the first of its kind in environmental governance through its XGN portal, and which was replicated in the almost 7 to 8 states in the country. That project we have implemented with the help of the NIC. Secondly, we are pioneer in, or we are say first in the world to implement the emission trading scheme for the particulate matter. Now we are implementing in Ahmedabad. The project was started in the Surat. Then co-processing of the hazardous waste. As you are aware, when more and more number of industry, there will be a more and more generation of the waste. So waste to be disposed in environmental friendly manner and with the technically sound technologies to be adopted in this. So with that, following the guidelines and rules and regulations published by the central government, co-processing of the hazardous waste, Gujarat is the first in the country to use the waste as a fuel. Then disposal of the effluent is also concerned. So for that, we are also the first in that aspect also for providing the deep sea disposal line. So Gujarat is the state where industries are enjoying the good set of environmental infrastructure in the form of disposal lines, treatment, air quality, and the waste disposal. And as you all are aware that air pollution is one of the biggest environmental challenges in India, and dates according to the global reports. So all the pollutant particulate matter is far the most problematic air pollutant in the national scale. Presently, the air pollution is regulated by command and control system, that is through the Air Act 1981. But effectiveness of this system is a bit complex, and therefore we were compelled to think out of the box how to control the particulate matter, for which we studied the global mechanism of this emission trading, and we think fit that the emission trading to be the game changer, and we implemented it first in the world in India, in Gujarat, in Surat city, and the results of which are very encouraging. And we collaborated with the Harvard University, University of Chicago, University of Yale, and Japan, South Asia. They have helped us in achieving this. And as a result of this, the polluter pay principle has been followed in this system, and the results of which were encouraging, and somewhere around 18% of the air pollution we are able to reduce in the city of Surat. And by this encouraging result, now we are shortly implementing it in the city of Ahmedabad as well. Also following this, the Honorable Ministry of Environment and Forest is also going for some CO2 emission trading based on the results which we have gathered for the particulate matter. Now, with the success of this project in Ahmedabad, which we are going to replicate, somewhere around we are starting with the 200 participating industry, and maybe in a month or so, we will be announcing its launching. Then this ETS, which is delivered, that is a win-win situation, because the project proponent are trading when they are releasing more emission, they have to purchase their permit from the market, which is like a stock exchange. So that is to be done. And accordingly, the industry are not punished unless and otherwise the trading is very high. So they are also benefited, and the industry which are emitting less, they are selling the permit. So thereby, they are also getting some monetary benefit. Then this project is a paradigm shift, and that is how we are regulating the pollution in this innovative scheme in Gujarat. And this is a landmark project, and I think this will the result of Surat and now the Ahmedabad, and we will expand it in a little more state of the more district of the state, and hope this will be replicated at the national level as well. Thank you very much.
So, in fact, you also have a national clean air program, which is based on which you seek to tackle the problem of lack of information between cities regarding air pollution. How is it that you are leveraging this?
In NCAP, there are two components. The earlier component, government has granted some fund, and now in NCAP this year, 15 Finance Commission, they have given something around 400 crore to the Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Rajkot and city, the 4 million plus cities, where this amount is to be handed over to the corporations, and the corporation will tackle the pollution which is generated in the city area. The study of this source apportionment has indicated that contribution of, because out of these 4 cities, the 2 cities has completed the source apportionment study, which indicate the industrial contribution is about 20 to 30%, as against the other pollution, that is vehicular, domestic, fossil fuel burning of waste in open, through the waste which was collected by the corporations. So all these things need to be tackled in a holistic manner so that the target given by the Finance Commission and Ministry and Central Pollution Control Board can be achieved, and slowly, as per the target, they will reduce the 25%, 30%, 40%, 50%, and ultimately to get the final destination to reduce the pollution.
And you mentioned about Surat, wherein nearly 350 plus industrial units around the city and in the city. You started tracking them, and you have gathered high quality data. It is monitoring almost in real time, and the data is also available in public domain. So, what have been the learnings from there? How is it? You also mentioned that you're moving to the city of Ahmedabad, but there are a whole lot of large number of cities in Gujarat itself.
In Surat, in initial phase, we did get the registers from the industry, but our collaborator has made several meetings. They explained them, the benefits, merits, demerits that were discussed at length, and industry were convinced that it is in the benefit of the nation as well. So initially it was started with somewhere around 100 industry. Now more than 300 plus industry are participating, because this is a trading system and which is taking place to the larger emitters. The small industries we have not taken into the consideration, and their benefit and environmental benefit which we concluded, because in this scheme it is called trade and cap, or cap and trade. So depending upon the standards, we are putting a cap that this much ton of the emission can be emitted by the participating industry. Then the continuous monitoring of their chimneys, which is a bit costly equipment, and regularly calibrating it, we are getting the good set of the data. And by analyzing that data periodically, the cap can be revised, and then permits can be issued. And by that, the industries are trading among themselves, and we are keeping certain amount of the permit reserved with us so that it can be released in the case of emergency. So this has resulted, the cumulative effect of that and the effort which we put with the help of the industries and the collaborator of this program, that has resulted into 18% sizable amount of the reduction of the air pollution in the Surat. And by inspiring that, this sizable amount of reduction of the air emission, we are now moving this scheme to the city of Ahmedabad, and work is already started. And about 300 industry. In Surat, we have started with 150. Here we are starting with the more number of industries, 300. And by that, I think we will definitely achieve some good result, even more than the Surat.
One more thing that comes to my mind, pre-COVID, in the name of handling pollution in large cities, these smaller units were being relocated to further far areas, and that was something which probably was not a very good move when it comes to the small and medium enterprises, because then the supply chain, the market access, the infrastructure development, then that becomes an issue. And a whole lot of MSMEs did suffer at that time. So I hope in the name of now these 300 plus units, which is what 100, 150 and so on and so forth that you're looking at, you're only making them compliant by being in the city rather than making them relocate again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the development and environmental compliance cannot go simultaneously. One has to make compromise at one point so that the sustainable development can be achieved. If there is a more polluting industry, that can be definitely, yes, needs to be shifted. not at the cost of, because if you look at the Ahmedabad city, in earlier days, because I am working in the board since last more than 30 years, I have witnessed the earlier industrial estate which are in outskirts of the city. Now the development has taken in such a way that all these are forming the part of the city. So the people are approaching towards the industry. When there's the industrial development, definitely the livelihood is going to be changed. People are getting more and more richer. So they are finding the way and they are approaching towards the expansion of their houses and all. So all these things are reaching towards the industry. Industry cannot be relocated. But at the same time, when the industry started surrounding by the residents, definitely we have to protect the residents also. So industry has to comply with the stringent standard. If they cannot achieve the stringent standard, then definitely yes, they have to relocate. So that is how the sustainable development.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll interact with you once again. Madhya Pradesh is endowed with rich forest health. There are many important non-timber forests produced, including medicinal plants found in the forest, including tendu leaves, sal seed, gum, chironji, and seeds of mahua, so on. Madhya Pradesh is processing and marketing herbal products and honey under the brand name Vindhya Herbals. There is one organizing that is propelling that in the state, which is Madhya Pradesh State Minor Forest Produce Federation. We have with us Mr. Pushkar Singh, its managing director, who is an officer in the rank of Principal Chief Conservator of Forest in Madhya Pradesh. He's worked as Commissioner Horticulture and Food Processing Department and as Chief Executive Officer of MP Ecotourism Development Board, where he conducted Anubhuti program for school children in which more than 1 lakh students took part, taken from the forest area, and gave them first-hand information about the environment. Mr. Singh.
Thank you, Dr. Gursharan ji, and good morning to all. As has been briefed about our organization, Madhya Pradesh is a rich state in terms of forest and biodiversity. Of the state is forest area. So naturally, large number of people are connected with the forest villages which are living near to the forest, and more than 40 lakh people are directly connected with the forestry activities, forest produce for their basic livelihood. So we as are into the field of minor forest produce collection, its processing, trading, and all these things. So through our cooperative system, we produce the tune of 1,000 crore every year. And last year, I would like to mention that during last 2 years, we had a pandemic time during May and June, when there was lockdown everywhere. Through minor forest produce collection, we have been able to provide employment to the tune of 400 crore each year to the poor villagers, which are mostly tribal people. And secondly, we are not only collecting and giving them collection prices, we are sharing our benefit also with the villagers. So whatever benefit we get, 75% of the net benefit is plowed back to these villagers. So that way, we are creating an environment of livelihood generation through our minor forest produce collection and trading activities. So beside collections, now we are into processing also, primary processing basically. And this we do through our self-help group. More than 20,000 people through self-help group are connected to us, and they are getting benefit of this facility. Thirdly, as you know, most of the minor forest produce gatherers, they are very poor people. Almost the last section of our society living near the forest. So we ensure that there is no exploitation of these people by traders or by other social elements. So for this, we have a system of minimum support price for the minor forest produce. So we have declared minimum support price for 32 minor forest produce of our forest area. So whenever the prices in the market goes down, we have a system of collecting these minor forest produce MSP, which we have declared. So that by that MSP system also, we are supporting our villagers in a big way. Besides doing all these things, a small part of our profit, we do village development programs also. We construct stock dam, we construct tanks, we construct roads, school building, Anganwadi, community centers for the villagers who can use it for their personal purpose or for their social activities. So that way also we are helping them in their various social needs. Apart from that, we have an insurance scheme also for our minor forest produce collectors, which as I told you, there are more than 40 lakh people. So we have a social security system also for them. And other than this, we help their school children for getting, we provide them a scholarship up to 10 and then 10 to 12. And if some student from the backward places, he wants to join some engineering college or some medical or some technical education, we help them to help our local villagers. So this is one part which we have put the presentation. Second topic of our submission was creating awareness about the minor forest produce. As we all know, the COVID pandemic, it has given limelight to the minor forest produce and to the Ayurvedic system of medicine, and shown that how this system is so much useful to cure all these type of viral. So to create the awareness of these minor forest produce, we organize a big international herbal fair in Bhopal. It's a 5-day event which was organized in December last year, and I am happy to share with all you that in that event we conduct buyer-seller meet also, and in our event, just in 5 days, we could get an order of 14 crore rupees to supply the medicinal plants and their derivatives. And by now, we have almost supplied more than 25% of that. So that way, we give employment opportunity to our villagers and we do the value addition of their products also. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to put forth my point of view.
Thank you very much. In fact, that prompts me to ask one question that, you said that you have made the community as, a participant as well as a partner in the program. So how did you decide upon the transfer of ownership of NTFP to the Gram Panchayats under 73rd Constitutional Amendment and Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act of 1996?
Nicely you asked, Dr. Gursharan ji. Why, when the PESA Act was implemented and later on when Forest Right Act also came into existence in 2006, we have given the all proprietorship, ownership of all minor forest produce to our villagers. They are free to collect it, trade it, process it. We only support them. We support them in finding a better market. We support them in finding a better price. If they get a better price somewhere else, they are free to sell it anywhere, except for one minor forest produce, which is Bidi Tedu Patta, because it is a specific kind of thing, and not much market is there. So we support these villagers through cooperatives are also cooperatives of the villagers and the gatherers. So we support them in trading in that sense. For other minor policies they want to do with that. Earlier we used to have transit permit of system. They required a transit permit to transport. Now we have done away with that system also. So villagers are free to do everything.
Very nice. How do you distribute the profits?
Profit is distributed. We have a system. We calculate our profit, and whatever net profit is there, 75% of this profit goes back to the account of the gatherers, their bank account. And remaining 25%, we use 10% for their village development, for infrastructure in the village, as I told earlier, roads, school building, Anganwadi, like that. So 10% goes to that thing, and the another 10% we keep it for forest development, because we want that this minor forest produce, the sustainability of minor forest produce is maintained, so that we collect this year, so we are able to collect in the next generation also. So for that we keep 10% for the forest development, and now we have decided to give 5% to the Gram Sabha also, the concerning Gram Sabha, from where this minor forest produce has been collected.
So how have the financial health of Gram Sabha improved after this 5%? I mean, what is the quantum of this?
Gram Sabha, we have made provision just last month only.
Okay.
So with that provision, we will be providing Gram Sabha more than 20 crore rupees every year.
Okay, great. That sounds good.
And as I told you that during the collection season, we provide employment to the tune of 400 to 500 crore in just 1 month. And profit, another 400 or 500 crore to their account.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for being with us. I'll come back to you in case we have more time left for interaction. And move on to our next participant from Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh has one of the widest forest covers in the country and also the largest iron ore reserve. The balancing act is precarious and is the primary responsibility of the Rajya Van Vikas Nigam Limited. To talk about it, there is more than 4,000 plus million tons of iron ore reserve, accounts for 19% of the total iron ore reserves in India. It also poses at the same time a big challenge to the ecology. So Mr. Kaushlendra Kumar, who is Executive Director of Chhattisgarh Rajya Van Vikas Nigam Limited, is going to be talking about as to what efforts have been made in order to do this balancing act, also saving the regions in the south of Chhattisgarh, which is the heavily area dominated by indigenous and so on and so forth. Mr. Kaushlendra Kumar.
Good afternoon, all of you. Sir, first I would like to inform you that our AD sir and MD sir unable to join because some urgent meeting was there. So myself, Amit Agustin Barwa. Sir, first I would like to introduce about Chhattisgarh Rajya Van Vikas Nigam Limited. Sir, वन विकास निगम की स्थापना 1976 में हुई थी, जब उसके बाद 2000 में छत्तीसगढ़ अलग होने के बाद इसकी स्थापना हुई है। सर, इसमें हमने एक ऑक्सीजन का निर्माण किया है, जो छत्तीसगढ़ की राजधानी रायपुर के सेंटर में, सिटी सेंटर में लगभग 55 सरकारी ऑफिसेस और 115 आवासीय कॉलोनियों को हटाकर और 70 दुकानों को हटाकर ये ऑक्सीजन डेवलप किया गया है। और इसमें लगभग 2700 वृक्ष लगाए गए हैं और इसमें सिटी के लोगों के लिए सुबह शाम घूमने और बच्चों को खेलने के लिए और एक्सरसाइज के लिए ये करीबन 20 एकड़ की जमीन में ये निर्माण कराया गया है। इस प्रोजेक्ट में लगभग 12 करोड़ खर्च हुए और इससे यहाँ के लोगों को बहुत फायदा हुआ है। और इसके अलावा छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य वन विकास निगम ने एक और अच्छा काम किया है। यहाँ कोरबा एक इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया है जहाँ की हमारे डंप एरियाज हैं, वहाँ पे छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य वन विकास ने प्लांटेशन करके बहुत अच्छा डेवलपमेंट किया है।
जी, आपका आवाज आ रहा है?
जी सर, थैंक यू। 2017 में इस प्रोजेक्ट की शुरुआत की गई थी और 5 साल कंप्लीट हो गए और ये 2 फेज में हुआ था। एक 12 हेक्टेयर में फर्स्ट और सेकंड 8 हेक्टेयर में हुआ था। और इसमें एक पर्यटन के लिए भी सुविधा बनाई गई है, बम्बू हट्स बनाए गए हैं और लगभग यहाँ पर कोशिश ये की जाती है लोगों की, बिकॉज ऑफ ऑक्सीजन के नाम से ये फेमस हुआ है, तो लोग यहाँ इसका फायदा उठा रहे हैं। और ये बनाने में बहुत परेशानी हुई थी क्योंकि सिटी सेंटर में यह निर्माण कराया गया, तो सबसे परमिशन लेना और वहाँ के लोगों को हटाना एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम थी, जिसको कि हटाकर हमने बहुत अच्छा डेवलप किया है सर। और ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा सर, मैं इतना ही एक्सप्लेन करके मैं
जी
आप लोग को अपॉर्चुनिटी के लिए धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया ज्वाइन करने के लिए। So, well, this brings us to the end of this session on the state of states, which is with focus on education, forest and environment. And I thank the Commissionerate of Higher Education, Government of Gujarat, Gujarat Pollution Control Board, MP State Minor Forest Produce Cooperative Federation, as well as Chhattisgarh Wan Vikas Nigam Limited joining us for this session.